Oh my goodness. Papa Elon Musk himself, aka the savior, went on one of the hottest, fastest growing social media platforms in the world right now. It's called Clubhouse. It's audio only. If you haven't heard about it, don't feel bad. A lot of people haven't, but it's really going crazy right now. It's invite only at this point. I have a few invites. DM me later if you want to get in. Now, here's the thing. Elon Musk went on for hours. It was insane. He literally broke the internet. You couldn't get into some of the rooms that were restreaming the stuff that he was saying. However, amidst all this craziness, Elon actually gave Vlad Tenev, the founder and CEO of Robinhood, a chance at redemption. He gave him a whole 15 minutes to explain and set the record straight. How did Vlad take the opportunity? Well, in my personal opinion, don't sue me, it's just my opinion, allegedly, during research, blah blah blah. In my opinion, Vlad managed to stumble upon himself again and basically do a horrible job at explaining exactly what happened. Now, in this video, we're going to go through the 15 minutes of that conversation, and you're going to get me calling out the bullshit that I think, in my opinion, Vlad was saying about what happened. This is going to be unfiltered, real, and honest. Now, at the second part of the video, we're actually going to give you some actionable advice. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen next, although I'm not a prophet, and I'll tell you what I would have done if I was holding GME or AMC stock, or if I was considering buying this Monday, which I'm not. I have one share of GME, which I bought on air while I was interviewing Will, that holds over $1 million of unrealized gains. Jesus Christ. And I'm holding on to that as a sign of principle. I'm not buying anymore and I don't own anymore. But I'll give you my personal opinion, what I would have done if I was holding these shares. And, it's just for entertainment. This is not financial advice, so chill. Now, first, let's start with the interview. Then we can continue to the actual kind of analytical part where I tell you where I think this thing is headed this morning, tomorrow, and for the rest of the week, including what I would have done if I was holding the shares. So first of all, let's play the clip.
Executive of Robinhood. Robinhood is actually a
Just go on.
I'll go through this quickly. Don't worry. This is important. It's actually a couple of companies. So there's an introducing broker dealer called Robinhood Financial, and that basically is the app that you know and love. It processes trades. You're a customer of Robinhood Financial. Then there's a clearing broker dealer, Robinhood Securities, that clears and settles the trades. And then we have Robinhood Crypto, which is our crypto business, all of these are kind of different entities that are differently operated. So basically Wednesday of last week, we just had, unprecedented volume, unprecedented load on the system. A lot of these.
Look at the excuses. He's starting baking the excuses. The excuses are going into the oven. But hold on, this hasn't started yet.
So-called meme stocks were...
These are not meme stocks. That's such a derogatory thing to say. These are not meme stocks. This is like the whole narrative in the mainstream media right now. They're talking about it as if people are just speculating because they think that stock is going to go up like crazy for no reason. And this is just a meme stock frenzy. No, it isn't. There's two types of people who hold these stocks or buy these stocks. And basically the whole mainstream media and Vlad, in this case, ignore them. Those people are the people who do it morally, like Will, who are fighting a battle and they don't care if the stock goes to zero. And there's people who are making an actual technical analysis saying, well, the short interest is so high, this thing actually will go up if there's going to be enough demand to keep the stock at hand. It's technical, you might argue with it, but this is not meme stocks. There's actual technical analysis that supports this theory if you're a technical trader, and there's a lot of moral people who's just doing it for morals. So this isn't meme stocks. So chill, bro. This is so condescending. Jesus Christ. Let's continue.
Going viral on social media, and people were joining Robinhood, and there was a lot of net buy activity on them. As you guys all know. And Robinhood at this time, I think, was number one on the iOS App Store, and pretty close, if not number one, on Google Play as well. So just unprecedented activity. And so...
Check your reviews, motherfucker.
So Thursday morning, right? So I'm sleeping, but at 3:30 a.m. Pacific, our operations team receives a file from the NSCC, which is the National Securities Clearing Corporation. So basically, as a broker, as a clearing broker, and this is where Robinhood Securities comes in, we have to put up money to the NSCC based on some factors, including things like the volatility of the trading activity, concentration into certain securities, and this is the equities business. So it's based on stock trading and not options trading or anything else. So they gave us a file with the deposit, and the request was around $3 billion, which is, about an order of magnitude more than what it typically is, right? So,
no, why was that so high? Like, this seems like it sounds like this is an unprecedented increase in demand for capital. What formula did they use to calculate that?
Great question, Elon. He's starting to call out the bullshit.
Well, yeah, and just to give context, Robinhood up until that point has raised, a little bit, around $2 billion in total venture capital up until now. So it's a big number. Like $3 billion is a large number, right? So
when the guy from CNBC asked you, well, Vlad, did you have a liquidity problem? I.e., did you not have enough money to support all these trades? You said, no, we did not have a liquidity problem. We preemptively prevented one by stopping the trade. Now, dude, you just admitted they asked you for $3 billion. You only have 2, or maybe even less than that. You couldn't handle the trades. Now, why did you have to go and basically bullshit your way on CNBC? All you needed to do is just say the truth. Guys, we stopped this because we couldn't handle the volume. We don't have enough cash. This is extraordinary. We didn't prepare for this. We're sorry. But you go ahead and say, well, we're doing this to protect you. And then you go ahead and you say, well, there's no liquidity problem. Obviously, you just admitted that you had a liquidity problem based on their demands. So why not admit it? Why go around the bush like this? I mean, what's the point? You think people are idiots?
Basically, the details are, we don't have the full details. It's a little bit of an opaque formula, but there's
Opaque formula means I don't fucking know, or I don't want to fucking tell you. In both cases, that's very suspect. How do you not know this shit, bro? Or why wouldn't you tell us? What's the formula? I would think that you would ask, how do you guys calculate these requirements? I mean, that's strange.
a component called the VAR of it, which is value at risk, and that's based on kind of some fairly quantitative things, although it's not fully transparent. So there are ways to reverse engineer it, but it's not kind of publicly shared. And then there's a special component, which is discretionary. So that kind of acts as a multiplier, and basically
discretionary meaning like
let's go, Elon.
It's just their opinion.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, I'm sure there's definitely more than just their opinion, but basically,
well, I mean, I guess like
it's based on growth.
What everyone wants to know.
I like Elon.
Like, did something maybe shady go down here? It's like seems weird that you'd get a sudden $10 billion demand. You know,
$3 billion.
$3 in the morning. Sorry, how much?
Amen.
It was $3 billion US
$3
dollars.
billion. Okay, so $3 billion
around.
You know, just suddenly out of nowhere. And what percentage?
I wouldn't impute.
Here's what Elon is really asking here. Hey, Vlad, don't you think it's strange you got a crazy demand for an insane amount of collateral, motherfucker, all of a sudden? Didn't you think that was suspect? Didn't you want to ask some questions? Which is the part where Vlad is going to have a problem with this question. Let's see what he says.
I wouldn't impute shadiness to it or anything like that. And actually, the NSCC was reasonable subsequent to this, and they worked with us to actually lower it. So it was unprecedented activity. I don't have the full context about what was going on in what's going on in the NSCC to make these calculations, but yeah, essentially,
is anyone holding you hostage right now?
Let's even take a shot at the
I'm
motherfucker.
okay. Yeah.
He's not joking.
Thanks for asking. But anyway, so
He's taking shots at this guy because he's pretty much saying, "Well, I have no recollection of that, sir." That's shit bullshit. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. That's pretty much your answer, bro. Come out and say, "Hey, listen, I think it's suspect too, but it came from above. Let's investigate the shit. Why did it happen?" But instead, he beats around the bush again.
this was obviously nerve-wracking, and I actually was asleep at this point. You know, the operations team was fielding this at 3 o'clock, and then you know, we got back, we put our heads together. You know, our chief operating officer basically said, "Look, let's call up the higher ups at the NSCC and kind of figure out what's going on. Maybe there's some way we can work with them." And basically, there was another call, and they lowered it to something like $1.4 billion from 3. Okay. So, we were making some progress, right? And then, but it's still a high number. And then we basically proposed, well, let's explain how we plan to, let's explain how, you know, we'll manage risk in these symbols throughout the day. We proposed marking these volatile stocks that were kind of driving the activity, position closing only. And then at about an hour before market open, so 5:30 or 5 in the morning, they came back and they said, okay, the charge is, or the deposit, $700 million, which we then deposited and paid promptly, and then everything was fine.
So here's a question for you. Why did you propose marking the stock and cock blocking the buy? You could have just as well offered a whole bunch of different solutions that wouldn't have prevented people from buying this stock. I can think of 100. Let me give you one. You could have said, well, guys, we're going to raise the margin requirements on these stocks to 100%. We're not going to allow any single Robinhood user to purchase GameStop or AMC or whatever the fuck shares you want to buy it on margin for the next 24, 48 hours. That way, there's no collateral needed because this is live cash. Simple. They could have suggested that. But why the fuck did they suggest marking these stocks and cock blocking the buy? I don't know. I have no answer for that. That's suspect to me. Sorry.
That essentially explains why we had to mark these symbols.
No, you didn't have to. You chose to. That's the solution you chose, motherfucker.
Position closing only. And also why, you know, we knew this was a bad outcome for customers. You know,
and we did it anyways.
Part of what's been really difficult is Robinhood stands for, you know, democratizing access to stocks, and we want to give people the access. So that's...
My head is literally about to explode. Do you still believe, anyone in the audience, comment below, do you still believe that everything that happened, Robinhood stands for democratizing the stock market, giving access to the retail investor? Robinhood, as of whenever the fuck this happened, no longer stands for none of that. In fact, it stands for the opposite. You help hedge funds and billionaires to block the retail investors from making money. So you stand for corporate greed. You stand for lack of transparency. You stand for bullshit. If you're still on Robinhood, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
It's been very, very challenging. But we had no choice in this case. We had to...
No, you did have a choice, motherfucker. You could have just said, hey, we're not going to let you buy on margin. Come on. You can't bullshit me.
Conform to our regulatory capital requirements. And so the team did what they could to make sure we were available for customers.
Who controls this organization, this clearinghouse?
You know, it's a consortium. It's not quite a government agency. You know, I don't really know the details of
Good question,
of all
Elon.
of that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
and to be fair, like we were, I think there was legitimate sort of turmoil in the markets. Like these are unprecedented events with these meme stocks, and
If you call it a meme stock one more time, I'm going to come over there and give you a hug. Self-hug. Everybody hug yourself at this point just to relax, because we need to meditate to get over this bullshit. Okay, I'm good.
there was a lot of activity. So there probably is some amount of extra risk in the system that warrants higher requirements. So it's not entirely unreasonable. But we did operational processes to make sure that customers that had positions could sell their open positions, because obviously restricting someone, we got a lot of questions about, okay, you had to restrict buying, why didn't you also restrict selling? And the fact of the matter is, people get really pissed off if they're holding stock and they want to sell it and they can't
You motherfucker. You think people would get pissed off if you stop them from selling their stock? How about if you stop them from buying their stock? That's the same exact thing. What's the difference? I don't understand this man's logic. What the hell?
So I think that's categorically worse. So
no, that's not worse. That's equally as fucked up. You have to own up to your bullshit. Whatever you want to say about Weeble and whatnot, I have no relationship with Weeble on purpose, intentionally. By the way, Dollar Shave Club, let's sponsor this. The Weeble CEO, Anthony, went on Benzinga and gave it straight up. He faced the consequence of what happened. He gave a very transparent answer, and it is what it is. This dude is just... Can we just get an honest answer just for a second? Just say something honest, bro.
And lots of other brokers, I think, were in the same situation.
Come on. That's the worst answer. Well, everybody else was doing it. I'm done with this, man. I mean, you can clearly see where this is going. There were about 6 more minutes of this garbage, but I'm done with it. Listen, let me tell you one thing. And I want to end this whole GameStop Robinhood saga with this explanation. Why the fuck did you not raise margin? You could have said, hey guys, we're going to raise margins so there's no risk. So it's all live money, so you don't have to raise the collateral requirements and just be done with it. Why the hell did you choose to restrict the buying power of retail investors? Given your relationship with Citadel, this thing is 100% required an investigation. There needs to be an investigation into your relationship with Citadel and into what exactly happened here that prompted you to make this choice over raising the margin requirements. I'm not saying that you're guilty. I'm just saying that I want somebody independent to look into this, given your relationship and given exactly what happened. Now, what's going to happen next? Now, listen, at this point, I'm going to tell you to be very, very cautious. If you're in this to speculate and you think you're going to make money on AMC, Nokia, or this thing, GME, whatever, BlackBerry, KOSS, all of these stocks. If you're in this to try to speculate and make money, I highly urge you not to do it. This is not a smart investment. I suggest you stay the fuck away from this thing because this is highly volatile, highly dangerous. Please stay away. Now, if you're one of those moral investors who are just doing this out of a principle and they don't mind losing their entire investment, then, by all means, you drive the bus, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just going to give you a friendly Tom Nash psychology. Now, if you want to fight this battle, that's fine. But, and I said the same thing to Will, at least take 10 or 20% out. At least take a little bit out. So if this thing actually crashes, that you have something out of it. Because if this thing goes to zero, you're fucked. I'm not saying take everything out. I mean, stick it to these bastards. But at least take 10% out. Take something out so you have a little bit of cash. So you just don't have just the story. You actually have something in your pocket. Nothing terrible will happen if you take 10%. Believe me, the effect is still going to be the same. But that way, you have something to fall on if this shit goes south. Now, that's my truth. That's what I would have done if I was in your situation. But hey, a huge shout out to Wall Street Bets. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for doing this for us, the community. Every single Wall Street Bets member is in my heart right now. I'm sending you positive vibes, positive energy. Now, if you haven't joined the channel memberships or the channel Patreon, please do. It supports our channel. I only ask at the end of the video because I know if you lasted this long, you're a true fan and you probably want to support the channel. Let me know if you have any questions below. We'll see you guys in the next video.